Is it an army base?
Well, the U.S. has different kinds of bases around the world. They've got about 156 countries where they have bases. So it could be an Air Force base, or it could be an Army or land base, but they haven't really specified what kind of military base it will be. But if you look at the dynamics of the area, which is Ghana and West Africa, it is highly likely that this will be an army base rather than a navy or an air force base. This is because if you then consider that the U.S. also has same type of bases around countries like Djibouti, the essence of having one in Ghana would be for them to continue to use the pretext of the global war on terror and the instability that is going on within Africa to then install more of their troops. And
Okay, now David, let me ask you because again, people are really, really not comfortable with this story as it broke yesterday. Will such a military cooperation expose Ghana to terrorism?
well, that is an issue which the government of Ghana has to consider. The question that you must ask is, can Ghana do the same? Can Ghana have a military base in the U.S.? And I'm sure that that is going to be a no. One of the reasons why the United States likes to have military bases in countries like in Africa is clearly an indication that there is a high threat of terrorist presence within the area. So that itself should ring a bell to the government of Ghana. Why is the U.S. having that military base? And that tells you that the threat to terrorism is quite high. And as we know, wherever U.S. bases have been, the threat of terrorism has never reduced. Instead, it has increased because the military kinetic strategy which the U.S. uses increases terrorism within the area. So I would say that the presence of the U.S. military base in Ghana would, in the contrary, instead of reducing any terrorism activities, would instead increase it because, as you all know, the U.S. is seen as the enemy number one for groups like Al Qaeda and ISIS. So wherever the U.S. is, it's like a flower that attracts, the sunny bed. And that tells you that Ghana has to be extremely, extremely cautious about having a
We've
U.S. military
seen
base there.
some countries being attacked because of their allegiance or as an ally to other Western countries. I think it was Burkina Faso that was attacked. What I'm trying to
Yes,
ask you
Burkina Faso
here
and Mali,
is:
yes.
was this send a signal that Ghana is ally to the U.S.?
And that is a very clear indication. Most of the African countries, as you rightly mentioned, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, all these countries have been attacked because they are seen as being friends to an enemy, and that would be the same if there was a high presence of U.S. military base in Ghana. So it wouldn't be a surprise if Ghana were then, in a couple of years' time, added to the ISIS wanted list. And that also means you would have a lot of Ghanaians being radicalized to then form an Al Qaeda or an ISIS cell, which would be aimed at attacking U.S. military personnel and also at attacking the government of Gambia of Ghana, because the government of Ghana would be blamed for accepting to have a U.S. military base in their country. So yes, if the U.S. were to have a military base in Ghana, that would act as an incentive for Al Qaeda and ISIS to carry out attacks against Ghana.